Hi everybody, how are you? Dimitri here from Pure Motivation Fitness, and today I'm going to show you 2 easy ways to correct your posture and how to see if you have poor posture. Now, when we're looking at assessing posture, you always want to make sure you're assessing yourself from a horizontal view, because if you're looking at yourself in the mirror from this position, you won't really tell if you have kyphotic posture or tight shoulders, okay? There's a few tests you can do. The first one is called the shoulder flexion assessment. So standing straight, you want to drive your arms as straight as possible and see how far you can bring your arms. Now what you're looking for to see is if your bicep can go to your ear or beyond your ear. You want to make sure that your rib cage is not extending as well. So proper posture should look something like this, where you can bring your arm behind your ear. If the person has improper posture or tight shoulders, you'll see something like this. Okay, that's one way to assess the shoulder. Another way is to use the wall arm glide assessment. So what I want you to do is, I want you to come from this angle, and I want you to watch. I'm going to go about a foot away from the wall. I'm going to plaque myself back on the wall. I'm going to pretend if I had a hand back here, I'm going to push my stomach into the wall and be flat and try to keep my elbows against the wall. Now, if you're trying this at home, what you want to try to do is drive your arms straight up as high as you can go and trying to keep your arms, palms, and forearms flat on the wall. As you can see, all mine are touching the wall. As soon as your elbow goes to ear height, you know how high you're going. Okay? If you try this movement or this assessment and you start coming off the wall, you'll notice that that is a clear indication that you have kyphotic posture, or you have super tight pectoralis and deltoids, front chest muscles. How do we get this? From sitting on a computer all day, from being in a crouched position, from being on our phones all day, and we're not really working on correcting it. Now, why is this important? When someone is doing a rowing movement, when you're doing a proper row, the elbow and the shoulder should move in the same direction. So a proper row should look like this. And you can see that my shoulder is actually coming nice and deep back. I'm retracting my scapular area. An improper row would look like this. And I would say 60 to 70% of the population that we see in the club does this. Why? Because they have tight shoulders and they're not able to activate the muscles of the inner back. So how do we do that? Follow me. So one easy way is using our TRX or using any type of TheraBand. And if you want to come from this angle, you're going to watch my back. As I'm in a straight position, all I want to do is 1 inch of retraction. So from this position, I want to pull shoulder blades back and then relax. Shoulder blades back and relax. Now it's going to be tough because you're not really getting a full row movement, and it's going to feel weird because you're not really contracting anything, but it's only 1 inch of a movement and back. And back. The reason why you want to learn this is so that when you're about to do your row, you can retract your shoulders back and then drive. And that way your shoulder blade's going to come right back as well. If not, this is what it's going to look like. And in essence, you're not really using your back muscles, you're using bicep muscles. Another way you can fix this is by using these beautiful green bands, something called a band distraction technique. So what you want to do is you want to come underneath the band, have an over-gripped palm. You want to pull yourself away from the band, and what you're looking for is to get that stretch in the shoulder. From this position, you want to have your weight back, bent knees, hand on your up of the knee, and what you want to do is pull back and retract. 1, 2, 3, and let your arm fully extend out. You're going to pull back and hold. 1, 2, 3, and hold. So you'd probably do about 3 or 4 sets of this, 4 seconds, and release. And you're going to feel a really good tightness in the back of the shoulder. You're not going to bend the elbow, and you're not going to use your bicep at all for the pull. Another movement you can do is keeping your head down, is turning and looking at the ceiling, dumping your shoulder down, and really getting that stretch. So these are called up and downs. You're turning around, and if you want to torque your body, get your forearm on the other leg to really torque the body out. From here, you're gonna turn around, face the wall. Your palms come down and palms come back up. Palms come down and palms come back up. And the whole goal is to try to get a lot more range of motion, a lot more space in the glenohumeral joint. Because again, if the humerus bone is really, really tight and you're always in this position, you're flexing your traps, you're always gonna be really, really tight, you're not gonna have the ability to get more range of motion, okay? If you can practice that when you're doing a movement such as a bent over row, if you're looking at someone's form and they're doing it improperly, you'll notice that my shoulders are coming forward and all I'm doing is rowing with my bicep. What you want to be able to do is pull back the shoulders and use the entire back. 1, 2, 3, and drop. You can retract and then row. Again, I'm going to retract my shoulders, then I'm going to row. Lastly, when you're doing any back exercises, you want to hold the movement for a minimum of 2 seconds. Back muscles or any posterior chain exercises, such as hamstrings, glutes, back, upper back, lower back, you need to be able to hold the movement and feel them. Unlike anterior movements such as your quads, chest, shoulders that have explosive power, you can